UFC Marauders. If you don't know what a Marauder is, then I'm here to tell you, and I'm here to give you my list of UFC Marauders using this shitty tier maker. Hopefully, I have plenty. I think I got plenty of fighters to choose from. So yeah, we're gonna be getting plenty of good Marauders. It's gonna be a good list. And what a Marauder is essentially is someone that they just maraud. They're a marauder. They just come at you and they don't stop. They don't really think about defense. They just want the finish. And my criteria: D tier will belong to people that are kind of marauders and they're not really good. C tier, kind of marauders, but they're good fighters, but not enough to be like, oh yeah, they're a marauder. If you're B tier, you're a marauder. I mean, if you're in the A and the S tier, you're marauding at a high level in the UFC. If you're in the S tier, you are one of the marauding goats. You are a marauding modern goat. And I already have those people in mind. But Brendan Allen is an A tier marauder. He's a top 5 contender. He doesn't have great defense. He, keeps pushing forward. He's pretty stupid, like a lot of marauders. Pretty stupid. Got a decent enough arsenal. He just comes at you. And, he probably won't finish you on the feet, but it'll hurt you. Yeah, it'll hurt you with some body kicks and some ones and some twosies. And, he'll get you down and, get you in a good, give you a good stupid grapple fest on the ground in a marauder way. He'll take risks on the ground and do stupid things, just like a marauder. He keeps a marauder mentality of, just be dangerous the whole time, even when on the ground. Who else is a marauder? I don't see any Ikram Aliskerov. This guy's always trying to finish, man. He's always trying to finish, and he is certainly a marauder. He's certainly a marauder, but he's not marauding at a high level. He's unranked. And, he's an all-right marauder. He tries to finish you. If he doesn't finish you, you're going to finish him probably. He can win a decision, but he doesn't in a marauder style. He'll strike and he'll grapple, but he's always looking for that finish. He's always trying to do damage, and he doesn't care what you do to him. He's just going to keep coming at you over and over again. Even when he's tired and looking like shit, because he's a marauder. Right? Now, Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez doesn't quite qualify for a marauder. But he is a dangerous finisher. Right? He isn't a full-blown marauder, but he does maraud a bit. No, he doesn't. Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is a C-tier marauder. He's not. He can't be in B tier because he's high level. So he's either got to be C tier or A tier. But I don't think he's a full blown marauder. I don't. Because he's smarter than most marauders. And he's more technical than. I don't even want to say that. No, he's just smarter than most marauders. We usually don't really get to see him maraud. But he just always, goes out there and tries to finish you in the first minute. Doesn't care if he gets knocked down the first minute. If he gets, a blooded up nose, in the first few minutes, he'll just keep coming at you. And he'll just keep trying to finish you. Yeah, he is a marauder. And Tom Aspinall is a marauder. He is marauding at a high level in the heavyweight division. Obviously, he's the best in the heavyweight division, but no heavyweight fighter is elite. No heavyweight fighter has ever been elite. I will stand by that. There's no such thing as an elite heavyweight fighter. We haven't seen it. Until Alex Pereira moves up to heavyweight, I won't say that there's an elite heavyweight fighter. You can argue Stipe and you can argue Tom. Strong argument for Stipe. But anyways, who else is a Marauder? Well, do we got any more Marauders? Raoni Barcelos is a little bit of a Marauder, man. He's a little bit of a Marauder, you know. When the going gets tough, he'll start coming at you, right? He'll start going at you with all his weapons. And start, being active, getting entertaining, and he'll start throwing, and he'll start, shooting for takedowns and just going for it, man. But, he doesn't qualify for a Marauder, and he's not that great either, He's has some marauding moments, but I can't put him any higher than D tier. Who else is a Marauder? We are going to put Modestas Bukauskas in. He's a little bit of a Marauder. He is a D tier Marauder. He marauds a little bit. He's stupid. He's a stupid Marauder. He is stupid, and he doesn't really use defense, so we'll put him in C tier. There's not much logic in the Marauder tier list because there's not much logic in the Marauder way. Not in these Marauder ways. The logic in the Marauder ways is up here, right? The dangerous finishers who just don't give a fuck because they're just really good at doing what they do. Michael Chandler's certainly a Marauder. Oh, yeah. What else should I say about Modestas Bukauskas Modestas he's just a Marauder. I don't know how else to explain it. He's a little bit of a Marauder sometimes. He's got really low fight IQ, he could get a good KO, but then he can also go to a draw with Ian Cutelaba. And then he can freaking, chin out Paul Craig, have a stink fest. I don't know if he's a Marauder. I don't know. He feels like a Marauder. He just feels like a guy who's a little bit of a Marauder. So he's like D tier. He'll go D tier for Modestas Bukauskas. Because Michael Chandler is a Marauder, though. Michael Chandler is most certainly a Marauder. He marauds in typical Marauder fashion. He goes out there and he's slinging big, meaty hooks. Big, meaty hooks. He's throwing big, meaty hooks all night long. And he's throwing them with insane intensity at Justin Gaethje, at Dustin Poirier. And he's even, you dropped Charles Oliveira back in his prime. He almost finished past his prime Charles Oliveira when he himself was washed in 2024. We will be seeing Charles Oliveira later in this video. That is for sure. But yeah, he is a Marauder. He's an absolute Marauder. He doesn't care about getting hit. You can even go back to the Eddie Alvarez fights, when he was going to war with Eddie Alvarez back in Bellator. And this guy, Michael Chandler's always been a Marauder, and I think he's still a Marauder. Even in the Paddy Pimblett fight, he was trying his best to maraud, but he got left a bloody mess on the canvas, and that was beautiful to see. Doo-Hoo Choi. He's a Marauder. He's kind of a Marauder. Doo-Hoo Choi is kind of a Marauder, isn't he? I've seen this guy fight 5 times. Shit, I wish I had a better memory. I'm sorry I don't remember the Doo-Hoo Chois of the world 100% of the time, man. But I know it in my heart of hearts that he is a Marauder because I just remember him being a Marauder, right? That's, yeah. Who else? Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa's kind of a Marauder, right? No. Especially not anymore. He's getting a little too technical for the Marauder ways, but Renier de Ritter is a Marauder. You can't be in the same tier as Brendan Allen after what we saw, because Marauders tend to have heart. He's a Marauder with no heart. It's very interesting. This guy marauds. He marauded against Gerald Mearshart. That should have been the sign that he would lose to a guy like Brendan Allen. Man, how washed is Robert Whittaker? Let's be real. Ooh, I see some really good marauders down there. You know what? I'm going to do this just because D tier I have something special for. D tier is going to be for the smooth operators. I said smooth operators. I don't really want to talk about Renier anymore. Because I said smooth operators. Like Jack Della, Madalena. He's a smooth operator. He's not necessarily afraid to maraud. But he's a little bit too much of a smooth operator. He thrives off being smooth. And doesn't like marauding like Izzy. And when the going gets tough, they get fucked up. They're not a fan of marauding. They're not a fan of marauding. When freaking Izzy, when he feels like he's about to get marauded, he just makes it boring and just turns his back and runs away. Runs a couple laps around the octagon and just gets back to it. Ankalaev, he's a smooth operator. He's afraid of the marauding style. We saw it against Alex both times. You didn't want to maraud with him. You wanted to clinch. And he wanted to land some nice, slick kickboxing combos. JDM wants to land his nice, slick boxing combos. He doesn't like Makhachev going, bah, bah, and then in and out, bah, bah, with a combo. In, out, and then takedown. In, out, takedown. In, out, takedown. JDM, he wants to get in that flow state. And if he's not in that flow state, no, that's where you can beat him. Now, Kaya Sakura is a marauder. And, we saw this in Pantoja fight. He got dropped by Pantoja, didn't he? Because, he threw a flying knee and got dropped off a flying knee. And I predicted that. Crazy. Easy fight to predict, but I did predict that specific moment. And Kaya Sakura is an absolute marauder. He's crazy. This guy's crazy. He's throwing flying knees, throwing everything, man. And he's got submitted in both of his fights in the UFC. And, he's not afraid of getting finished because he's a marauder. He's always trying to finish you. He's always trying to KO you with fancy shit, just always coming at you. Not even organized. He's not even that good. He's just like, he's just a spaz. He's just a spaz at a high level. Who else? Who else we got here? I think Kyle Barajo's a little bit of a smooth operator. I don't really think he likes to maraud, to be honest. No, what am I saying? He got cut up in the freaking Cannonier fight. But cut up doesn't mean because freaking he's closer to being a smooth operator. I'll throw him on the smooth operator. Maybe I should just have that be a different tier list, smooth operators tier list. Maybe I'm gonna stop adding to the smooth operators. Just forget that exists. You know what? No, it makes sense. We'll keep them. Yeah, Kyle likes smooth. No, he's not. No, he's not, though. He does maraud a little bit, actually. He tried to maraud against Nasruddin and failed. So, actually, he's a little bit of a marauder. He's not a successful marauder when he, marauds, really. He, tries... He doesn't have the most success when he tries to maraud, but he can maraud. It's in there. He's got a little bit of the marauding spirit. Just a little bit. He's C tier. He's C tier. He's got the marauding spirit in him. Now, where should Paulo Costa go? Honestly, no, I don't think he belongs here. I don't know. He's so in the middle. The GOAT. He's the GOAT of Marauders. Just give it up for Dricus du Plessis. Woo! Dricus! Oh, get your freaking British ass down in the smooth operators, Leon. Let's not even discuss you. He hates to maraud. Oh my gosh. Dude, Bilal is more of a marauder than this guy. Bilal is more of a marauder than any of these smooth operators. Bilal will probably be on here. Bilal's kind of a marauder, man. Marauder might just end up being this might just end up being an aggressive fighter tier list. I don't know. But Dricus is certainly a Marauder. Defense, what does that? I don't understand what that is. I just go out there and I throw, and however I finish them, I finish them. If it's on the ground and I finish, it's on the ground. It's mixed martial arts. It's not boxing or kickboxing or jiu-jitsu or wrestling. I just do everything, and I'm dangerous. If you hit me, I will headbutt you in the hip, and then I will KO you with the hammer that I hid under the canvas. Right. He hides hammers under the canvas. This guy's crafty, man. He's such a tricky customer. And the thing is, he's just the definition of what a Marauder is, and he does it at an elite level. This guy's one of the best Marauders of all time, if not the best Marauder. He's just that good, man. He's just that good, and he throws goofy shots. He throws the strikes. This guy looks so goofy, but he's so good at the same time. It's weird. You know, he was freaking dropping Izzy. I know there's people, he wasn't dropping Izzy. Izzy just slipped. No, he got dropped. He got fucking dropped. And Izzy was not winning that fight, by the way. Izzy was losing against DDP. Stop coping. Now, Josh Emmett is a Marauder himself. This guy is a Marauder. There we go. Josh Emmett's a Marauder. Josh Emmett is throwing big, meaty hooks. He's throwing big, meaty hooks all night. All night long, he's trying to land that big, meaty hook on you. And he's just coming forward with that big old chin. Big chin. He doesn't even have that big of a chin. He looks like he has a muscular pea head. It's like you take Dustin Poirier's head, that pea head, and then you just add like 3 pounds of muscle mass to it. And that's Josh Emmett's head for you. That's all it is. It's a muscly pea head, and Ilia Topuria 50-43 that muscly pea head and just decimate. He just freaking destroyed him. But he survives somehow because he's a Marauder. He just keeps marauding and come forward. You know what? That's why Rainier's got to go in the sea, because he doesn't have the marauding. He doesn't have the spirit. He doesn't have the spirit of a true Marauder. You know, to be in the B tier, you have to have the spirit, and he's a bitch. He showed us. He's given up on the stool twice. He did this back in 1FC as well, against Anatoly, whatever the dude's name is. Who else is a Marauder? Marauder. Who else keeps marauding the streets of the UFC? Marauder. Who keeps marauding? Bruno Ferreira. No, not really. But yes, really. Bruno Ferreira be marauding against Marvin Vettori. He's coming forward, throwing shitty, goofy punches. Looking like a terrible version of Dricus du Plessis. So he's an honorable C tier. He's low C tier because of that. Justin Gaethje, one of the GOATs. One of the GOATs of marauding. One of the GOATs of the UFC. He's a top 35 GOAT. I won't listen to any arguments otherwise. This guy's got a crazy resume, and now he's got Paddy Pimblett added to that resume. Freaking school. Dude, people are talking about that fight like it was close. Like, it's hilarious. Like, it was competitive, don't get me wrong, but, like, Justin was fucking him up the majority of the fight. Like, that's just the facts. That's the facts. It was clear 49-46 or 49-45. It's 49-45, but if you want to say, eye poke, 48-45. But round 2 was a 10-8. Like, let's not kid ourselves. It was probably a 10-8. You could definitely argue it. But yeah, Justin Gaethje, you know, he marauds at you with his calf kicks. He marauds at you with his freaking vicious slipping, dipping head movement and, you know, ripping uppercuts. And he's slipping and ripping. He's slipping and ripping. He's sprawling and brawling. And he doesn't care what you do, man. He's going to keep trying to come at you and impose his will like a true marauder. He imposes his will. He imposes his will. He imposes his will. He imposes his will. These are insanely good marauders because they just impose their will. They impose their will and just have that grit to fight like that, right? Although we don't know if Tom Aspinall really has that grit. I wouldn't say he's gritty. He's just realized that that's a style that works for him. So because of that, no, he's still A tier. It's honestly the only reason he's not S tier. It's because we don't really know if he quite resembles the Marauder spirit. Someone who does have the Marauder spirit. Man, Prime Kelvin would have been a nice addition to this list. I don't see anyone else right now. Bum bum beatum bum beatum bum. Man, honestly, Kevin Holland, nah, he doesn't have heart. He tries to be a little bit of a smooth, but he's not really that much of a smooth operator, so I can't put him there. Max Holloway's defense is too good. Max Holloway's defense is too good to be a Marauder. Gaethje has great defense as well, don't get me wrong, especially nowadays, but I think it's not to the level of Max. So Max is disqualified. He's too elite, but like Justin Gaethje is like just enough of his defense is just below the point of what qualifies to be a Marauder. If that makes sense. Dan Hooker, B tier. Yeah. Yeah. He's a Marauder. And he's a stupid one at that. This guy's stupid. But he just keeps marauding. He just marauds. He's always really fun. He goes for that body, and he tries to KO you and fails the majority of the time because he doesn't have great finishing instincts, but he's a Marauder. Kyoji Horiguchi. He's back, and he is marauding. He marauded successfully. Dude, he put on such a marauding masterclass. Like, he didn't even... Like, a marauding masterclass is where you maraud, yet you still somehow don't take damage. And he made Tagir... He just destroyed Tagir. Decimated him. And, he is just always... he's throwing that output. He's missing the majority of his shots, and he's still throwing, man. He just keeps going. He's got that grit, and he's got that heart, and he's going to get that finish, man. He just marauds his way to it. Now, Nasruddin Imavov. I know Dan Igue's there. Don't worry, I'll get to him. He's a smooth operator. I kind of want to include Max. Max will be an honorable... He'll be a C tier. Because he's either S tier or C tier. There's no in between. Because obviously he's way higher level than these guys. He's higher level than these guys. And he is on the level, of fighter on an S tier. Right? He is a technical Marauder. But he is not the best technical Marauder. That's the thing. I will